Hi class, I'm at the British Library. I'm in London doing an archival research trip on 16th century manuscripts and pageant documents. I wanted to show you the inside of the British Library reading room called the Rare Books and Music Reading Room. Very few scholars get access into this room and they're looking at some pretty incredible texts. I'd also like to show you a quarto edition of Thomas Heywood's play, If You Know Not Me, You Know Nobody, published in London in 1604-1605. Quarto is the same format that Shakespeare had a number of his plays published in. So I'd like you to look at the size and the dimensions of an early modern play text. Hi class, I'm at the British Library and I want to show you a replica of the printing press. And this is a printing press that was invented by Johann Gutenberg in the 1450s, probably 1454 to 55. And this is something that revolutionized the dissemination of knowledge across Europe and changed the whole intellectual landscape of the world. And I'd just like to show you the proportions and dimension of it. Show you a few of my favorite portraits that are in here, including the Ditchley portrait, which was commissioned by Sir Henry Lee in order to get out of the proverbial doghouse in 1593. He got kicked out of court because he was living openly with his mistress, and in order to get back in favor, he actually hosts this 10-day amazing festival and then presents her with this portrait. And it's on the cover of your Norton anthology, but it's quite big, and I want to give you a sense of the proportions of this portrait. Okay, so this is the Ditchley portrait, and it was commissioned by Sir Henry Lee.
So tell me about this.
Okay, well, this is the Queen's coronation portrait, and it was done in 1558, and she is an unmarried woman, so her hair is down.
Her Majesty's a pretty nice girl, but she doesn't have a lot to say. Her Majesty's a pretty nice girl, but she changes from day to day. I want to tell her that I love her a lot, but I gotta get a belly full of wine. Her Majesty's a pretty nice girl, someday I'm gonna make her mine, oh yeah, someday I'm gonna make her mine.
Festival 2012, and I'm going to show you a number of different plays. If you can see, the globe is behind me. I think I'm going to see about 6 or 7, and I'll let you know how they are. Okay, hi class. I'm here for Comedy of Errors, and it was done in Afghanistan. Thinking about you guys, and I'll show you lots of clips.
جشن میری ها ما که سن تو سعی میکنم تو برادرم نیستی آینه مستی واسه تو که سعی میکنم میبینم موضوع چقدر مقبول هستی ولی میبینم که تو یک کمک مقبولتر هستی
تو از من که بسیار مقبول
حالا جشن میری؟
بله میریم مگم تو پیش از خاطر که تو بزرگ هستی
حالا اینه که فیصله کنه که کی خورد است کی کلان
آسان کار است قرعه کشی میکنیم
قرعه کشی؟ نه قرعه کشی نه یک کار میکنیم چون ما و تو هر دوی ما برادر و برادر به دنیا آمدیم حال ما و تو دست به دست میریم نه پشت به پشت
in German for the Shakespeare World Festival 2012. I'll let you know how it is.
Hi class! Timon of Athens is a play about a man who gives away all of his wealth, is very, very generous, and then when he gets into financial difficulties and calls back the debts that people owe him, no one pays him back. And it's a story about friendship and the role of money in friendship. It's a really dark play, and Timon becomes misanthropic. He casts off all of his clothes and goes into the wilderness after really being heartbroken by his friends.
Geh zu Ventidius. Sag ihm, ich sei stolz, ihn brauchen zu müssen.
One can't help but think about the current economic climate in Europe, especially with Greece and the austerity measures that are in place with the collapse of their entire economy, and Germany's role in trying to stabilize the euro. And this is a German production of Timon of Athens, and it's really quite fantastic.
Hi class, I'm here for Hamlet in Lithuanian on the Queen's Diamond Jubilee, June the 3rd. Lithuanian version of Hamlet. It was very interesting. They chose to double Hamlet's father with the King of Norway, Fortinbras. They cut out a lot of the really interesting conversations between Hamlet and Hamlet's mother and made Hamlet's mother complicit with a lot of the action, including the poisoned swords. It was very melodramatic and very staged in a hyperbolic way, so they didn't seem to follow any of the instructions Hamlet gives to the players about not overacting. Overall, a very bizarre and interesting version.
Hi class, we're here at the Old Vic at the Cut in London to see the Duchess of Malfi. And the Duchess of Malfi was written by one of Shakespeare's contemporaries, John Webster, and it's a really interesting play. I'll give you Hi class, I just saw the Duchess of Malfi at the Old Vic, which is right behind me. It is a really dark play by John Webster. Every
everybody dies at the end. The Duchess of Malfi is a new widow. She marries in secret somebody that she absolutely adores, the steward of her court, and her two brothers are so insanely jealous that they go and try to find out who it is and kill him and kill her. It is an absolute tragedy by John Webster, and it was masterfully performed by Eve Best and the cast of The Old Vic. Hi class, I'm here at the Roundhouse Theatre watching the RSC production of Twelfth Night. It's in London and they've actually imported the stage from Stratford. It is a really cool stage. They've set the play in the 1930s in a hotel. And what is so interesting about the stage is that part of it is water, and so both Viola and Sebastian come out of the water and onto the edge of the stage to enter. And it is an absolutely fabulous stage. I'm going to try to sneak a few video clips in so you can see it yourselves. So Twelfth Night is about Viola, who washes up on the shores of Illyria and dresses herself as Cesario, a man, and goes in drag for most of the play until her twin Sebastian shows up and everything goes awry. It all ends in a happy ending and a few marriages, but it's a wonderful comedy and Shakespeare's later comedy. So he's writing it around 1601 and it is really, really fun. Hi class, I just saw Twelfth Night. The RSC production was amazing and they chose not to put Viola back in her dress. They kept her in her male attire at the very end and it was wonderful. They also played Malvolio, I'll be revenged on the whole pack of you, in a really dark way, and so we had this unsettled feeling at the end where the play failed to resolve itself. It was a fantastic production. The RSC is the best in the world. I'm at the Globe for Hamlet. It's the beginning of the spring season. I'm really excited. I'll let you know how it is.
Is it not monstrous that this player here, but in a fiction, in a dream of passion, could force his soul so to his own conceit, that from her working all his visage warmed, tears in his eyes, distraction in his aspect, a broken voice, and all for nothing? For Hecuba. What's Hecuba to him, or he to Hecuba, that he should weep for her? What would he do? Had he the motive and the cue for passion that I have, he would drown the stage with tears. I'll have these players play something like the murder of my father before mine uncle. I'll observe his looks. If he but blench, I know my course. The play's the thing wherein I'll catch the conscience of the king. And can you? For in the very torrent, tempest, and, as I may say, whirlwind of passion, you must acquire and beget a temperance that may give it smoothness. Oh, it offends me to the soul to hear a robustious, periwig-pated fellow tear a passion to tatters, to very rags, to split the ears of the groundlings, who for the most part are capable of nothing but inexplicable dumb shows and noise. Pray you avoid it.
I warrant you, my lord.
Be not tame, neither, but let thy own discretion be thy tutor. Suit the action to the word to the action, with this special observance that you overstep not the modesty of nature. For anything so overdone is from the purpose of playing, whose end from the first to now is and was to hold, as 'twere, the mirror up to nature, to show virtue her own feature, scorn her own image, and the very age and body of the time, his form and pressure. Now this overdone, or come tardy off, though it make the unskillful laugh, cannot but make the judicious grieve.
Hi class, I'm here at the Globe Theatre watching Hamlet. It's a traveling troupe production and only 8 actors play all of the roles. One of the most fascinating is that Claudius is also playing Hamlet's dead father, the ghost, and the head of the acting troupe. This embodiment of the same actor in these three different roles adds a whole new dimension, and it's a really great production. The great thing about this production is they ended with a Morris dance. A Morris dance is a traditional dance that they would perform at the end of a tragedy, a comedy, a history. It was very, very fun, and everybody who was dead on stage got up and danced the Morris dance. I'm here to see Henry V at the Globe. Henry V is a history play. It's one of Shakespeare's early plays, and it's part of a tetralogy, which is a series of 4 plays that tell a story. This is the final play in the tetralogy, and Henry V has become king after a rather prodigal childhood where he spends most of his time in pubs and brothels in Eastcheap, hanging out with his friends Falstaff and Bardolph, Pistol, Nym, and Mistress Quickly. He has to grow up when he becomes king, and this is the play that stages his style of sovereignty. In Henry V, we get some of the most amazing orations. We get the speech at Harfleur, we get some of his most rousing war cries in Agincourt, and Henry V is known for his rhetorical sophistication. I'm really excited to see it and to see how they stage it, whether they stage it pro or anti-war, because of course Laurence Olivier's version in 1944 is very pro-war, while Kenneth Branagh's version in 1989 is very dark. It shows the underbelly of war and the human effects war has. So I'm really excited to see what version they're going to play today at the Globe.
Then imitate the action of the tiger. Stiffen the sinews, summon up the blood, disguise fair nature with hard-favored rage, and then blend the eye of terrible aspect. Let it pry through the portage of the head like the brass cannon. Now set the teeth and stretch the nostril wide, hold hard the breath, and bend up every spirit to his full height. On, you!
No knobs and flames of fire, and his lips blows in his nose. And it's like a coal of fire, sometimes blue and sometimes red. But his nose is executed and his fire's out.
We would have all such offenders so cut off. And we give express charge.
Forth he goes and visits all his host, bids them good morrow with a modest smile, and calls them brothers, friends, and countrymen. Upon his royal face there is no note how dread an army hath enraged him, that every wretch, pining and pale before, beholding him, plucks comfort from his looks. A largesse universal like the sun, his liberal eye doth give to every one thawing cold fear, that mean and gentle all behold, as may unworthiness define. A little touch of Harry in the night. The English beach pales in the flood with men, with wives and boys, whose shouts and claps unvoice the deep unseen, which, like a mighty whiffler for the king, seems to prepare his way. So let him land, and solemnly see him set on to London. So swift a pace have thought that even now you may imagine him upon Blackheath, where that his lords desire him to have borne his bruised helmet and his bended sword before him through the city. He forbids it, being free from vainness and self-glorious pride, giving full trophy, signal, and ostent, right from himself to God. But now behold, in the quick forge and working house of thought, how London doth pour out her citizens, the mayor and all his brethren in best sort, like to the senators of the antique Rome, with the plebeians swarming at their heels, go forth and fetch their conquering Caesar in. Now in London place him.
I'm here to see the Comedy of Errors. The RSC is putting it on at the Roundhouse Theatre. This is the second time I'll have seen this play. I saw it the first time in Dari, which is Afghan Persian. I'll let you know how it is. So the Comedy of Errors is about two sets of identical twins, a set of master and servant twins. And they're separated very, very early on, and they go in search for one another, and it is a comedy of mistaken identity, and a lot of hilarity ensues when Antipholus of Syracuse goes in search for Antipholus of Ephesus, and Dromio, the two sets of servants, are constantly mistaken their masters. So it's a wonderful and fun play. Hi class, I'm in intermission for Comedy of Errors, the RSC production, and the really interesting thing about this production is that they're in repertory theatre, so the actors play different roles in different plays. So I just saw Twelfth Night. Olivia from Twelfth Night is now playing the wife of the Antipholus from Ephesus. So it's really funny to see all of the actors doubling their roles across plays, not just in the plays themselves, which is what the Globe does. Hi class, we're in Stratford-upon-Avon, which is the birthplace of Shakespeare. And in this little tiny town, we have Shakespeare's birthplace, we have the house that he bought and retired to when he quit the theater, and we also have the place where he's buried, the Holy Trinity Church. I'm going to show you a few of these sites. Hi class, I'm in front of the church that Shakespeare is buried in, and I would show you the grave, but we're not allowed in because there's a service that is ongoing with Judi Dench and Kenneth Branagh, so we'll try to get a peek of them coming out.
A love-struck Romeo sing the streets a serenade, laying everybody low with a love song that he made. Find the streetlight, steps out of the shade, says something like, you and me, babe, how about it? Juliet says, hey, it's Romeo, you nearly give me a heart attack. He's underneath the window, she's singing.
Hi class, I'm here to see Julius Caesar. Julius Caesar is one of Shakespeare's Roman history plays. He wrote it in 1599, and even though it's called Julius Caesar himself only shows up in 3 scenes, and in fact he's assassinated in Act 3, Scene 1. It's a play that's really interested in contesting these conflicts between Mark Antony and Brutus around heroism, around patriotism, and around friendship. Two of the most famous quotations from Julius Caesar are "Et tu, Brute," when Caesar is stabbed, and then the second one is in Act 3, Scene 2, "Friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears," and it's one of the most famous eulogies that Mark Antony delivers in order to persuade the crowd to follow him and not Brutus.
Julius Caesar production with an all-black British acting cast. It's part of the World Shakespeare Festival, and they were investigating how Shakespeare can be appropriated and remediated in different contexts. So they did a modern African twist, and they really likened Julius Caesar to dictators such as Robert Mugabe. It was a very interesting interpretation and one that was very politically charged. It was quite a risky choice for the RSC, and it has had wonderful acclaim. The actual words were spoken with an African accent, so listening to Shakespeare with very different cadences gave it a whole new dimension. Hi class, we're here to see King John at the Swan Theatre. The RSC is putting on King John in performance. It is one of Shakespeare's less popular plays, and it's about the story of King John, who's actually really famous for signing the Magna Carta. Hi class, we're in the Swan Theatre at the RSC in Stratford. It's a smaller, more boutique-y theatre. It has a thrust stage, and we're here to see King John. Hi class, so King John is a history play, and it's about a 12th century king who is actually celebrated in the 16th century for advocating for the separation of church and state. He defies the Catholic Church and asserts England's right to govern itself. So he's a martyr, he's actually poisoned by a monk, and the play ends with him dead and a bastard actually celebrating the power of England against any invader. It's a remarkable play. It's not played very often, so I feel very lucky to have seen it at the RSC. Hi class, one of the wonderful things about this production at the Globe is that they started and they ended with a Morris House dance. Actually a Morris dance. Hi class, the really interesting part of Henry VII was that they used the chorus as an old woman. And the chorus actually then doubled as the Queen of France. This is a very interesting voice that narrates at the beginning of every act of the play and informs the audience about what is going on. So it was a very interesting interpretive choice. You can get anything at the Globe. You can get a play crowd. You can get a quill. Or you can get a fake sword. Hi class, I'm here watching Hamlet at the Globe. It's a traveling troupe. They started in Portsmouth about a week ago. They're going to be at the Globe for a couple of months, and then they're going to go to the US. It's a fantastic production because there are only 8 actors. There are very minimal costume changes, and there are a lot of different doublings and triplings of roles. One of the most interesting is that Claudius is doubling as Hamlet's father, as the ghost, as well as the lead actor in the acting troupe that comes to Elsinore. It's a really fascinating way to embody different roles in the same actor's body.
Happy 60 years.
Well, thank you.
What do you think?
I think this is a wonderful celebration. I'm very excited. Smile.
I can't.
Oh yeah, wave your little flag. Hi class. So we're here for the Euro Cup 2012. This is a wonderful 21st century example of what happens in the 16th century during the tournaments, where masculinity is Hi class, I'm in England doing an archival research trip on non-performance pageants, drama, and text. And I'm spending a lot of time at the British Library looking at different manuscripts. And I thought, because it's such a wonderful place to be and I can't bring you with me, in the 16th century, a number of different events and performances marked almost weekly and even monthly occurrences. And so you'd have royal coronation entries, you'd have triumphs, you've had visiting statesmen and foreign monarchs come to visit. And to mark these occasions, you would have pageants, processions, orations, jugglers, tumblers, and a whole lot of spectacle. And so what I'm studying in my archival research is these kinds of non-commercial performances. So my trip is rather fortuitous because it coincides with the Queen's Diamond Jubilee, a celebration of 60 years of her reign. It also coincides with the World Shakespeare Festival, so that the Globe is putting on 38 performances, 37 of his plays and Venus and Adonis in 38 languages. The World Shakespeare Festival is also in Stratford-upon-Avon, and I'm here to show you a little bit of Shakespeare's birthplace.